This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, there he is. We are back. Manny Navarro, ready to rock and roll. How you doing, baby? You feeling good?
Feeling good, man. Here at the airport, getting ready to take off, flying into Charlotte and then driving over to Blacksburg.
So that's how it is, huh? How long of a drive is it from Charlotte to Blacksburg?
It's about 3 hours, but what I'm doing is I'm staying at a hotel kind of in the middle between, kind of a beautiful area right there by a lake. So I'll be fine, man. I actually prefer doing this than taking 2 flights to get to Roanoke and then still driving to Blacksburg. It's just take the direct flight to Charlotte in and out and do a little driving. That's the way I look at it.
And North Carolina is a nice drive, actually. It's a cool state. I like it. It's a fun state to drive through, actually.
And Virginia too. When you're going through the Appalachians,
yes.
It's a beautiful view on the way up. Yeah.
Virginia is beautiful, dude. Every time I drive through Virginia, my lord, the trees everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, man, it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous country there. That part, I totally agree with you. Yeah, I've been exploring the Western Carolina and Eastern Tennessee area now. It's kind of what I'm exploring for down the line. You know, get a little pad.
Beautiful
somewhere.
The retirement.
Yes. Yep. Somewhere there, either Eastern Tennessee or Western Carolina, one of the two. I haven't decided yet. What town are you staying in between the two?
Mooresville.
Okay.
It's it's supposedly like the NASCAR, all the NASCAR drivers and auto drivers are there. So they call it Race City, USA.
Okay. Sean was like, yeah. He was like, he knew all about it right there. By the way, we're trying to see if we're at Homestead next week too. See if we're broadcast from there. I forgot to tell you about that too. Anyway, so I got too much stuff going in here, bro. Like
working hard, man. You're working hard.
Right? Yeah, dude. But yeah, it's a grind, bro. But build this whole crap up. Because you've been around me, so you understand what the hell the craziness I've been trying to deal with. But it's but this one has been satisfying. This run here with this platform, it's been a lot better than my last 2 stops that were just absolutely a disaster. All right. Do we get disaster in Blacksburg? Are the boys gonna wake up and give us a performance? What's your gut tell you here after covering this week?
Yeah, it's tough to say. Miami football now is kind of like those box of chocolates that Forrest Gump carries around, right? We don't know week to week which team is going to show up. I think look, Virginia Tech's dealing with some stuff themselves, right? They've lost 3 in a row. They've lost by 16 points their last 3 games, at the very least. Miami just finished playing a much better game, I think, second half anyway, against North Carolina. So they put together 2 good quarters of football. So to me, I think Miami wins this week. I think Virginia Tech's not as good as they are. And like I said, they're dealing with stuff, but hey, they're at home. It's going to be a sellout crowd in Blacksburg, and funny things happen, right? All the time, especially to this Hurricanes team. So I've got Miami winning this game, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means. I don't think they're going to go out there and just pound them like they probably should.
We talked a little bit about this earlier in the week. Because they're going to go with the bigger back, are you expecting them to have maybe an extra little dedication to the running game and to pound the ball a little bit? I don't think that he can carry the whole running game, but wear out that defense a little bit, punish them a little bit.
Well, that's what you'd hope, right? You'd hope that, between Thaddeus Franklin and Miami's running backs, what they just saw Izzy Abenakanda do from Pittsburgh, running for 320 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Yes, that's right.
You'd hope that Miami takes something away from that performance and says, hey, we can do the same things against the Virginia Tech defense. I will say Virginia Tech is getting one of their better linebackers back. I think he missed the first 6 games. He was ineligible for whatever reason. But he'll be coming back for this game. And so they'll get a little bit of a boost there. But I mean, this defense has given up a lot of points. Andy Bitter and I wrote a big preview for the game. Andy Bitter covers Virginia Tech for us, and their top cornerback is kind of banged up the same way Tyreek Stevenson is for Miami. Even their second guy is dealing with stuff. So this is the kind of game that yes, you'd hope Miami could go in and run the football the way that Pittsburgh did against them, but at the same time, I think Virginia Tech's pass defense has struggled a whole lot, and if Tyler Van Dyke can get a little bit of protection in this game, he should be able to pick them apart.
I hope that's the case, my brother. I really am. When you look at the wide receivers now, are we expecting anything different here? Anything's going to change? Are they going to try anything? Anyone new? What are you hearing?
Yeah, Colby Young, I think is definitely that guy. You know, he's a JUCO signee. He came out of the same school as Bryant McKinney, Lackawanna Junior College up there in Pennsylvania. He was kind of a late addition to this roster. Didn't get here till July. And, you know, you saw him at the end of the North Carolina game catch that 16-yard touchdown pass, make a great catch along the sideline. And I think they finally figured out a way to really utilize him and get him to have a role in this offense. So I would expect Miami's red zone issues, right? That's the guy you throw the jump ball to. Oh, right. I mean, that's the play that you run now. I think more consistently, you let that guy go get up there and go get that ball because he's so big, so long, and you can see obviously that he's got a good pair of hands on him. So, you know, that's what I expect to see more of. I think Frank Ladson has kind of turned a corner. Brashard Smith probably has as well. They're becoming a lot more consistent catching the ball the last couple of weeks. Even if Miami's passing game really didn't spark till last week, I think Ladson was showing you signs, even against Middle Tennessee State. So I think that the passing game is going to continue to do well. The question is, you know, do those red zone woes and does the running game get going this week? And look, you're playing the perfect team in my mind. You're playing in a perfect environment, right? Miami showed up and played hard the last time they were on the road at Texas A&M. This is going to be a similar environment, a very loud sellout crowd for the last, you know, Miami Virginia Tech game, at least on an annual basis.
The when you look at the secondary, all right, where is Virginia Tech in the passing game? How good are they? Because we know Miami's secondary has been bad. So that is obviously a major problem with that defense is that secondary. How much of that is a concern going into this game?
Well, I think it has to be a concern for Miami because, you know, Virginia Tech's got a big play receiver, 6'2", 220 pounds. Caleb Jones, I believe his name. You know, a good target down the field. Grant Wells has a good arm. The one thing I will say, though, about Wells, I think he's got 7 interceptions, 6 touchdowns. So he turns the ball over. Sometimes he sees things late in the passing game and he'll make a mistake. So, yes, can they hit on the big play with Jones? Yes. Do they have a plethora of receivers? No. I think, you know, it's kind of one guy. And I think that's a good omen for Miami that there's really only one legitimate pass catching weapon on this Virginia Tech offense. That said, I'm sure they've studied a lot of stuff on film the last couple of weeks and seen some areas where they can expose Miami. And, you know, look, Tyreek Stevenson's banged up. He's playing hurt. Hasn't played well at all. Daryl Porter got into the game last week, played 35 snaps, the most he's played all season. I thought he looked really good in the second half. So if that kid can perform to a high level again this week and do a good job, then I think Miami's got a chance to continue to play good defense because the second half against North Carolina was impressive. You know, 6 points, 140 something yards. I think they gave up. Drake May's an excellent quarterback. I know there are critics out there saying, "Oh, he just goes to his first read." Dude, 21 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. That's what you got to say about that kid. He's a good quarterback.
Oh no, the fact that they forced him into 2 interceptions, I thought that was actually really big for the
Oh,
year. The
yeah.
kid won going into that game, and you forced him into double of what he's thrown all season up to that point. I thought that was actually a really good performance overall.
Yeah, they played really well after giving up the 74-yard touchdown and that 52-yarder over the middle where the safety help wasn't there. Cam Kitchens just has to stay on assignment. You know, there's too many times where I think he's taking gambles coming down and letting guys get the ball over the top of him. We saw it last year at Florida State. If he doesn't give up that big pass play against Florida State, Miami probably doesn't have that 4th and 14, and Manny Diaz is probably still here as coach. So if Cam Kitchens can just do what he's supposed to do and stay back like he's supposed to stay back, then I think Miami's not going to give up any big plays this week.
I'm with you there. All right. When Beamer was there, special teams was special.
Yeah.
Are they still special?
Well, they blocked a punt last week at Pittsburgh and were able to score a touchdown off of that kept them close. I think it was 39-29, 31-29, I think, when they scored that on the block punt in the
I
third
just
quarter.
don't
So
watch Vatek that much anymore. So I'm wondering if they're still special on special, because you always had to fear them in that
Right.
area because they always came up with something. So I'm just wondering if they're still like that or close to that.
I'll say this. This isn't your typical Vatek team where they've always got a couple guys that are NFL worthy, right? There's always a defensive back. There's always a linebacker. There's always somebody that you're like, he's going to play on Sundays. You look at this roster now, Andy Bitter, like I mentioned his name earlier, who covers Virginia Tech for us. He'll tell you there's no NFL guys on this roster right now. This is a very average team. So will they make plays on special teams? Sure. I just don't think there's those game breakers, the guys that Virginia Tech used to have, that you would worry about and say, okay, yeah, maybe not everybody in the country is talking about him, but he's going to play on Sundays and be a factor. So I think Miami's in good shape going into this game from a talent and fear perspective. There's not a lot you have to fear with this team.
You predicting they win?
I did. I'm picking Miami 27-17. I know the spread's a touchdown. I think this is a game that goes into the fourth quarter where you're still kind of biting your fingernails, but I think Miami will do just enough to win and put an end to this losing streak.
There you go. What are you working on the Athletics so Canes fans can check you out?
Well, the usual, man. I mean, we put out the ACC mailbag today. We have a preview for today's game with Andy Bitter. I had a column earlier this week I wrote on why I think Mario Cristobal is the man here and needs to be given some time. So there's plenty of content to read on there. And then, of course, there'll be coverage from tomorrow's game. I'll be there to do my takeaways and to tell my story in Blacksburg. There's not a lot of reporters going, I'll tell you that. This isn't the old days where this game was well attended by the media.
You're probably – the local papers aren't sending anybody, right?
Well, I think Adam Lichtenstein's going for the Sun Sentinel.
Oh, yeah. That's about the – I think they are sending somebody from the Herald?
Yeah, Susan Miller-Degnan's going. I think it might just be the three of us.
Yeah, that's right. Susan's still – yeah. So they're still spending some money. Yeah, okay. It's crazy, dude, how our business is changing just left and right, dude. Sad. It's sad, actually. I mean, you think about the group of people that we were like 20 years ago and 30 years ago, and we would meet at places and go, you'd go to a sporting event and it was a lot of us. And now you go and it's only a couple of people that are covering these beats. It's Jesus, man. It has completely changed, dude. Sad. All right, my brother, we will catch up post game on Saturday. Thank you.
All right, brother. Good to talk to you.
You got it. There you go. Manny Navarro in our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report. Remember, you can order over $99 and you will get free shipping. Go to caneswear.com. Check it out. They got anything and everything with a Canes logo at caneswear.com.
If you're
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big